Look at me. Look straight into my eyes. Are you terrified of the stock market right now? Are you lying awake at 3 o'clock in the morning, watching the tickers change, watching the news headlines flash, feeling a knot twist tighter and tighter in your stomach? You are either retired, or you are standing right on the precipice of retirement, looking down, and you are scared out of your mind that a market crash is going to wipe out everything you have worked 30, 40, 50 years to build. I get it. I understand that fear deep within your soul. Because when you are working, a market drop is just a blip. It is a sale on stocks. You have time to wait for it to come back up because you have a paycheck coming in every 2 weeks to cover your groceries, your electricity, and your mortgage. But the day you stop working, the rules of the game change completely. Suddenly, that nest egg isn't just numbers on a screen anymore. It is your food. It is your medicine. It is your independence. It is your dignity. So when you see the market drop 10%, 15%, 20%, you don't see volatility. You see yourself running out of money before you run out of breath. You see yourself having to move in with your kids, or having to go back to work at 75 years old. That is the fear. It is a paralyzing, deep-seated fear of losing control. But I am here to tell you today that your fear is costing you your future financial freedom. Fear makes you do the single worst thing you could ever possibly do with your money. Do you know what that is? You watch the market tank, you panic, you call up your broker or you log into your account, and you sell everything. You go straight to cash. And what did you just do? You just turned a temporary, paper loss into a permanent, catastrophic reality. You locked in your losses at the absolute bottom. And then, when the market inevitably recovers, because history proves it always recovers, you are left sitting on the sidelines, holding cash that is being eaten alive by inflation every single day. You have to ask yourself a very serious question right now. Is your current retirement strategy actually protecting you, or is your fear driving you straight into poverty? The stock market is not a casino unless you treat it like one. If you are 70 years old and you are trading individual tech stocks or trying to time the market based on what some talking head says on the news, you are playing a game you will lose. That is not investing, that is gambling with your life savings. But you cannot completely abandon the stock market either. Why? Because of inflation. If you take all of your money out of the market and put it under your mattress, or put it into a standard savings account earning next to nothing, you are guaranteeing that you will lose purchasing power. The cost of living goes up year after year. Your healthcare costs are going to skyrocket as you age. If your money isn't growing, you are actively running out of money, even if the balance stays exactly the same. You need the stock market to preserve your wealth just as much as you need it to grow it. So how do we fix this? How do we take that terror and turn it into absolute peace of mind? We do it by building an unbreakable financial fortress that removes the emotional panic from the equation entirely. I want you to implement a simple strategy that will allow you to sleep like a baby at night, no matter what the Dow Jones or the S&P 500 is doing today, tomorrow, or next year. This is the 3-bucket strategy, and it is going to save your financial life. Bucket number 1 is your security bucket. This is your immediate cash. I want you to look at your monthly expenses. Subtract whatever guaranteed income you have coming in, whether that is Social Security, a pension, or an annuity. Whatever gap is left, that is what your investments need to cover. I want you to take 3 full years, yes, 36 months, of that gap amount and put it into absolutely safe, liquid, high-yield accounts. Think short-term certificates of deposit, high-yield savings accounts, or short-term treasury bills. Why 3 years? Because market downturns historically last anywhere from 12 to 36 months before they recover. If the market crashes tomorrow, you do not touch your stocks. You do not care what the market is doing because your bills are paid for the next 3 years out of bucket number 1. You have given your stock portfolio a 3-year shield to recover without ever forcing yourself to sell a single share at a loss. That is how you eliminate sequence of returns risk, the danger of being forced to withdraw money when the market is down. Bucket number 2 is your income bucket. This is money you will need in years 4 through 7 of your retirement. This money shouldn't be in volatile growth stocks, but it shouldn't be sitting in cash-earning peanuts either. This goes into high-quality, dividend-paying exchange-traded funds or conservative bond funds. These investments give you a steady stream of income and mild growth, feeding bucket number 1 as it gets depleted over time. Then, and only then, do we look at bucket number 3? This is your long-term growth bucket. This is money you will not need for 7, 10, 15, or 20 years down the road. This is the money that stays in broad-based, low-cost index funds, like an S&P 500 index fund or a total stock market fund. Because this money has a time horizon of a decade or more, you don't care if it drops tomorrow. You have a decade for it to grow, compound, and outpace inflation to secure your late 80s and 90s. Can you see the power in this? When you structure your wealth this way, you change your relationship with the market. You stop looking at your net worth as one big giant number that fluctuates wildly every day. Instead, you see a timeline. You see that your immediate life is secure, your midterm life is stable, and your long-term life is growing. No more checking your portfolio every single day. No more letting the daily financial news dictate your happiness or your peace of mind. Your money must work as hard for you in retirement as you work to earn it during your career. But it cannot do that if you let fear call the shots. You have the power to control your financial destiny. Do not let fear paralyze you into making mistakes that cannot be undone. Stand up, take control of your asset allocation, build your cash buffer, and claim the secure, joyful retirement that you have rightfully earned. You can do this. I know you can.